who's actually going to get the most out of this massive 18-inch Alienware Area 51, and who should walk away before they spend a six-figure paycheck on a laptop. Is the price tag justified for the average gamer who just wants to play Fortnite or Elden Ring on weekends, or does it belong in a creator's workstation where the extra horsepower really shines? Those are the questions that keep most buyers up at night, and the answer isn't as simple as it's the best laptop on the market. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you start looking at a machine the size of this Alienware, the first thing you notice is the sheer scale. An 18-inch 2.5K WQXGA anti-glare screen is essentially a small desktop monitor you have to lug around. That means you're not just buying a laptop, you're buying a portable gaming rig that still demands a proper desk, a decent chair, and a power source that can keep up with its appetite. For people who already have a gaming setup and just need a bring-your-P-Toth couch solution, the Area 51 can actually make sense. You can drop it onto a coffee table, plug the HDMI into a TV, and enjoy the same ultra-high-resolution experience you'd get from a tower. But if you're the type who plays on a cramped dorm desk or in a cramped bedroom where space is a premium, the footprint alone might be a deal-breaker. The core of the machine is the Intel Ultra 9275HX paired with an RTX 5090. In real-world terms, that combo translates to almost no frame rate drops in the most demanding titles. I ran a few benchmark sessions on Cyberpunk 2077 with ray tracing set to Ultra and DLSS on, and the laptop held a steady 70 frames per second at native 2.5K resolution. That's the kind of performance you'd expect from a high-end desktop GPU, not a laptop. The ray tracing Redefined marketing line isn't just hype. The RTX 5090 actually pushes the lighting and reflections in a way that makes the game world feel immersive, even when you're sitting on a couch with a cheap pair of headphones. The AI-boosted gameplay feature is another piece of the puzzle that matters for the everyday gamer. It's essentially a hardware-level optimization that shifts the workload between the CPU and GPU depending on the scene. In practice, this means you'll see smoother transitions in fast-paced shooters where enemies pop up suddenly. The advantage becomes obvious in competitive titles like Valorant or Call of Duty: Modern Warfare. NVIDIA Reflex 2 technology lowers input latency by syncing the display's refresh rate with the GPU's frame output. If you've ever missed a headshot because of a one-frame lag, you'll notice the difference right away. It's not something you can quantify without a lab, but the feel is there, your mouse clicks seem more immediate, and your reactions feel tighter. Now let's talk storage and memory. 64 GB of DDR5 RAM and a 2 TB PCIe SSD are overkill for most games, but they become invaluable if you also edit video or stream while you play. The SSD loads worlds in a fraction of a second, worlds that would normally take a console a full minute to render. If you're the type who records a 4K stream on the side, the extra RAM lets you run OBS, the game, and a web browser without the dreaded RAM full warnings. That's a practical strength you don't see on most gaming laptops that cap at 16 GB or 32 GB. All that power comes with a hidden trade-off: heat and battery life. The Area 51 runs a sophisticated cooling system with vapor chamber technology, but under sustained load the fans spin up aggressively. In a quiet apartment, you'll hear a constant whirring that can be distracting during cinematic moments. The laptop also draws a lot of power. Even with a 300W adapter, you'll be tethered to a wall outlet for any serious session longer than an hour. If you were hoping to game on the go, say on a train or in a coffee shop, you'll quickly run out of juice. The battery life hovers around 2 to 3 hours on a mixed usage pattern, which is far from the all-day claim you sometimes see in promotional videos. Another practical concern is the keyboard. Dell equipped the Area 51 with a backlit KYB mechanical key switch. The tactile feedback is satisfying for typing, and the RGB lighting can be customized per game. However, the key travel is a bit deeper than what you find on typical laptop keyboards, making it feel more like a desktop board. If you're accustomed to short travel chiclet keys, the transition might feel clunky, especially if you type for long stretches. It's a strength for gamers who love that mechanical feel, but a weakness for anyone who values a low-profile typing experience. Audio is often an overlooked aspect, and here the Area 51 does something interesting. Instead of relying solely on built-in speakers, Dell integrated a software suite that routes the audio through a virtual surround engine, which works surprisingly well when you plug in a decent headset. The immersive entertainment tagline isn't just about video, it's also about how